Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about one of my most favorite use case of LLM, which I call aspect-based sentiment analysis. But what does that mean? Let me give you an example. A restaurant, a grocery store receive feedback from the customer talking about the quality of the food and quality of the service. Customer said it was a great sushi and the service even better service, which means that the quality of service is better than the quality of food. Before the era of the LLMs, it was very hard to distinct the sentiment of different aspect of the feedback, different aspect of the customer feedback. In this case, both of them are positive, but one of them is better than the other ones. But there are many cases that one aspect is negative, one aspect is positive, or even you are dealing with several aspects in one feedback, one customer feedback. It was very hard before the era of the LLMs to identify these sentiments, because given a paragraph, given a customer feedback, we mostly be able to detect one sentiment from that body of text. But with complex models, with complex LLMs that we have, we can easily identify topics that being discussed in that body of text and extract the sentiment around that topic very easily. This problem was very, very hard before the era of LLMs, and we even could not solve it properly. You can receive feedbacks, customer data from many different sources, from customer call, from online reviews, from the social media, and you want to run this sort of analysis on them. And LLMs make that very, very easy for you. Let me give you better understanding of the potential of this technology. Let's assume you want to analyze 100,000 product experience every quarter to comply with for example, a government policy, a government safety policy. Just assume how hard it is to read through all of those customer experience, extract the quality of experience that they have. Some of them may have a good experience, some of them may deal with the hazard, some of them may deal with the problems, small problems, big problems. And it was so tough to create a compliance reports out of 100,000 product experience. But now with LLMs, we can easily do this. We can create reports of the product experience, 100,000 product experience easily, and find out if there is any, for example, safety issue with one of the products or some of the products that we have. Great, isn't it? Now let's assume you manage a restaurant chain with 100 plus locations, and you want a dashboard to monitor customer experience across all of these locations every day. This is very useful for the managers of these sort of store chain. You have 100 plus locations. You are clueless about the quality of service that customers receive in those locations, and you want to monitor them. How cool it can be if you can receive all of these customer review, customer experience in a very small report, in a very clear small reports on your mobile. That's very possible uh, with this, agentic AI solution and LLMs. Let me give you another example. You have a product with a 1 million plus users and you want to discover potential bug as early as possible. You have a 1 million plus users, they talk about your product in your social media. You cannot review them one by one, you cannot review them by the old technology, and you want to find out if there is any bug in your product as soon as even one of those customers in social media complain about it. You can listen to your social easily with the agentic AI solution powered by LLMs. I think now you have a very good understanding of how good and how powerful LLMs are in the identifying the sentiment of the customer experience. And at the end, they are powerful in providing very detailed customer insight for the business owners. Now I want to show you how you can build an aspect-based sentiment analysis using N8N, a very powerful platform to build agentic AI solution. I called my use case social listening, as this solution is supposed to listen to the one of the socials of an entity, which is in this case is Google Map. So what I did was I used terminal and curl command to call Google Map and collect comments and customer feedback of one grocery store in Vancouver. So let me first show you how I did this from the terminal side, and I'm gonna come back to the N8N platform and show you how I built the solution within this platform. So the idea of the using Google Map and basically all the Google API is, first you have to search for the name of the place that you want, which is in this case was the Urban Fair Vancouver. Use this curl commands, call Google API, use your API key, and get your place ID. When you search for terms like Urban Fair, which is a one grocery store in Vancouver, the API will return you several different Urban Fair stores in Vancouver. So you have to go through that list and find out the very exact place ID for that store that you want to review for. For sake of validation, then you have to use the place ID, which I get from the previous steps, and double check the display name of the place that you want to analyze. Obviously, in all of this call, you have to use your API key. After you got your place ID and you get certain about the very exact store that you want to analyze, now it's the time to retrieve the comments. So by using this curl commands of the Google API, you will give the place ID of the place that you want to analyze their comments and determine the data or the fields that you want to retrieve in this API call, which in this case was the rating of the customers of that place, all the reviews, and basically these things related to the customer feedback. I did this kind of offline, retrieve the data and collect the information and store it in a one Google Doc. The reason that I put it in a Google Doc is just for sake of not calling Google API every time that I run this workflow, because I wanted to make sure that this workflow run efficiently with the right prompt, with the right configuration. So I did not want to call Google API every time. So I call once, retrieve the data, store it in a Google Doc, and use that basically Google Doc within this workflow. But in the real world, you can connect your model to the like some sort of HTTP request block that N8N offer, and call all the commands that you need for your use case. So given all these commands and customer commands retrieved, now let's dive into the prompt that I use for this model. So I specify the role of the LLM, which is in this case is a text analyzer. You are a text analyzer. And then I told him that extract all the fields named text, which is in this specific use case, or basically in this specific API call, comments retrieve in the fields named text. Extract the name of the place from the field input. So I specify the name of fields that I care about, just for sake of becoming sure that the quality of the data is good enough for me and for the model to analyze. Then I told the model, aggregate all the reviews, extract topic for each review, or extract aspect of these reviews one by one, analyze sentiment of each topic within one body of text, within one review, give a score for each user topic. In this place, you can also specify for example, score between 0 to 5 or score between 0 to 100. So you can ask LLM to specify numeric score for these reviews with a better scaling, with a very clear scaling. Then I told LLM to aggregate results based on the topic. So somehow for each review, it extracts aspect or topics. And after the model extract this score for each user dash topic, then I ask him to aggregate the result based on topic. So in this case, maybe the user number 1 have topic A and topic B. The user number 2 has topic A, and user number 3 has topics C and B. So when we want to aggregate user number 1 and number 2 with topic 8, the result get aggregated. User number 1 and number 3 will be aggregated on topic B, and so on. I think you got the point. So then I specify the very format of the output for this model. So generate output with the below format. So I specify the model, the LLM, to generate output as a topic and sentiment. And in the very last part of the prompt, I ask him to only and only give me topic and their sentiment. On top of the message that the model is supposed to create, write the place name and today date whenever the model is basically run the analysis. So this helps me to, for example, create more sophisticated reports. Given the fact that I want to run several models at the same time, and I have different, for example, stores, so I can create a sophisticated reports that combine all the results from the different stores or from different dates. In this case, for sake of simplicity, I use one store and I use one date, but hypothetically, you can run this model for several stores with the several place ID, and you can run it for several date. Good. And then I ask the model to send out results to the one Telegram bot, and the owner of this workflow, the owner of this project, can receive all the data and all the reports within the Telegram services. So if I want to show you when I run this test work button, the data getting retrieved, the model start running the analysis, and the results exported to the Telegram. Let me show you how this result may look like. So as I said, I'll search for the Urban Fare, one grocery store in Vancouver. As I said, there are maybe several of them in the Vancouver, so you have to make sure the place ID that you use specify the very right place that you are interested in. But this is the type of output that you get at the end. So name of stores, the date, okay, which in this case date is wrong. I have to find out why, but it's okay. So I will double check. But this is the part which I want to explain. I wanted to show you. So topic, we have a 4 topic within this analysis: product quality, food selection, pricing, and store atmosphere. The general results for the product quality was kind of negative. The sentiment of the people around food selection was positive. The pricing, people are like kind of neutral, so they didn't complain and they didn't praise. They were neutral about the pricing of the foods, and the store atmosphere is positive. So as you see, I built a model that can retrieve data from Google Map API, from Google API, analyze aspect-based sentiment analysis, extract topics, and identify sentiment for each topic, and then export it to a Telegram bot. You can do this with the more sophisticated schema. As I said, you can run this on a different types of data. So basically you can first aggregate comments from different inputs, for example, from customer call, Google Maps. You can aggregate all the feedback that you can get from the customers and then feed them to the model and get your reports. Or you can run several workflows for different places, for different place IDs, and aggregate reports at the end to get a better insights of the quality of service that your store provides to the customer. So that's it. I hope you enjoy it. And if you enjoy it, please follow and subscribe. It gives me a lot of energy to build much better solution and make much better video for you. Very happy to see you joining this journey with me. Till next time, stay curious.